How would you like to generate an incredible number of leads from Google by simply flat being number one? And this is possible. I'm going to show you right now how to do it. Now, suppose you set up a website. There are 20, 30, 40, 50,000 websites in your business, whether it's dentists or accountants or lawyers or contractors. You get buried at the bottom of the search and you get all these calls from people that say they know how to get your site noticed, and yet it's just a lot of frustration. Here's the reason why. Google goes out there and looks across the universe when they get a search for the most relevant site. The sad news is if you want to be number one, it's not inexpensive. This is what it costs, $20,000 to $35,000 a month to get the number one site. That's frustrating. But I've got good news. What if a bunch of us in the dental business or a bunch of us in accounting got together and we built one super website shared between one firm in each of the 368 towns in America, and we all contributed to it, but when the website came up, it looked like the site from the guy from Dallas or the woman from San Diego. It looked like the local site. Now, will this idea work? Here it is. This is my wife's accounting site. If you type outsourced bookkeeping, she's number one nationwide. That's a shared site. Here's my company, Paperless Overnight. We're number one right underneath Wikipedia if anybody types document management. Even on a word like QuickBooks, searched 1.5 million times, we're the number one listing on the internet right under Intuit, the makers of QuickBooks. Now, I learned all this from a group of plumbers by accident building a website for my wife. And here's what I found out they did. They took one website, but when somebody clicks on, whether they're San Diego, Seattle, Dallas, the website changes. The picture changes, the phone number changes. The person searching in San Diego doesn't realize that this plumber's it may look like they're the number one plumber in America, but it's the same exact website being shared by 368 firms. And this just makes it so much easier for us to work together and get to the top. And by doing this as a co-op, we can share that gigantic cost. So 368 people working together have a chance to get to the top. Now, your next question should be, though, Casey, how do you do it? How do you get to the top? Here it is. We simply reverse engineer the keywords, the backlinks, the useful articles that are on a website. We look at the quality of the content, the meta tags and titles they use. We even check how many blogs they have. And then all we've got to do, once we have the numbers, is do more. Well, I have a crew that does more. Every time we set up a super website in the dental business or the personal injury law business, I hire 8 more people and they go to work to make that website number one, and they do everything you've heard about. They do it all. So we've got 368 people working on one website, all contributing to make one site come to the top. We're going to kick everybody else's butt. But when anybody logs on, the site looks like it's yours. The phone calls go to you. The leads go to you. Now, your question is going to be, will this work for my business? And that's a good question because I can't do this for everyone. And, of course, your next question is, well, what is my share of that $35,000 a month going to be? Well, I will tell you about this on the $35,000 a month. If you're in a small town, it's going to be, maybe a couple of hundred. If you're in New York City, though, it's going to be over 1,000, but you're going to get a lot more leads out of New York City. But I may not be able to do it. Your area might already be spoken for. If you're an accountant, I can tell you that in San Diego, I cannot help you. And there are some businesses that I can't work with. A piano store might be somebody that we just can't get enough people across the nation together to make it work. So you're going to have to let me know. I can't give the list out on this website of all the 248 industries that work and all the cities where this works because we've worked on the research for 2 years, and if somebody says, ooh, that's a hot idea, I want to go into competition, they just log on and get the data right off the site and be in competition. So if you want to be on the top of Google, fill in the form below, and I'll send you all the details by email. I won't even call you, just send them by email. If you like what you see, then you can log on to one of our upcoming short teleconferences. Thank you. Fill out the form, and we're going to show you how to get to the top of Google.